Welcome, it's FNUSA57 here. I am back on Neverwinter on the Xbox One, and in today's video, this will be everything about Refinement. So your guide, your walkthrough, per se, to the Refinement system after Module 12b, or the Mod 12b patch. So lots of things changed. This video is going to cover how to refine everything, and I will put some hyperlinks in the description so that you can find the parts of the video that you're looking for a little bit better. We'll cover how to get the items as we go for free. So just like my How to Refine Enchantments for Free video, the premise on all of this is going to be obtaining the items without spending real-world money. If you wish to buy them, you can. If you wish to buy them off of the auction house for Astral Diamonds, you can, but you do not have to. We will be refining 3 main items to cover the main basics of what you need to refine. We will refine a enchantment from start to finish. We will refine a artifact, and we will refine a armor or weapon enchantment as well. This is going to be a very expensive video for me. I did rush to have this set up and get it out in time for you guys, so I was unable to farm all of the new ultimate enchanting stones and did have to spend Astral Diamonds to get them early enough for the video. Otherwise, I would have farmed them. But let's move on. So, the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cover the changes. Now, refinement points are universal. So, anybody who logged in, seen their inventory, and was like, oh my god, what happened? Everything looks different, nothing's in the same place, everything's different colors. Yes, that's Module 12b for you. So, just take a minute, and we're going to go through this on a step-by-step basis. The first thing that you will want to keep in mind is you are going to see under your riches category a new non-highlightable item that is called refinement points. This is your actual refinement currency. This is what you use to refine everything. Now, is it as good as it used to be or better? To each his own, basically. This is more streamlined, it's more new player friendly, but if you knew the really the inner workings of the system before with feeders and things like that, it's hit or miss. My opinion's 50-50 on whether I like this or not. Keep in mind, we'll also be taking enchantments to rank 14, and we will be making a unparalleled enchantment. So, we need to get refinement points. As you've seen, I have that currency, but we need a lot of refinement points. So this is going to be step 1. Earning said refinement points. Now, if you were playing before Module 12b, you'll have items like Lesser Thaumaturgic Stones, Paradots, things of that nature. You can go ahead and highlight the item and hit Convert to Refinement Points. There is a chance that the item will convert and it will crit, meaning you will get more refinement points. Do be careful to not hit that on an item you don't want to refine. There is also new items in the game like black pearls and emeralds and stuff that are dropping from enemies as opposed to the old rank 5 enchantments, and they are worth refinement points. Now, a neat little trick that was mentioned to me is you can, on some items, hit the discard button, and it will actually pop up with that refinement window. You can confirm it, and you will still get the refinement points. I don't like doing that. Hitting the discard button is something you do not want to get into the habit of doing. I repeat, you do not want to get into the habit of doing because you could accidentally get rid of stuff that you wanted to keep. The other thing is all level 70 gear that is unidentified, at least for the green gear. It does not work with blue gear, but you can go ahead and identify the item and go down to convert to refinement points, and you can now convert all of this unidentified gear to refinement points, which is a pretty awesome thing. So how we went about getting all of this refinement is from 4 things, and you will want to run these things at all times. The very first thing that I use and you probably are familiar with it, but I use a Fey Blessing enchantment. This works the same way it always has. When you kill an enemy, there's a chance that it'll drop a rank 5 enchantment on the ground. Now, the bad thing is rank 5 enchantments are green in color now, so you can easily mistake them for profession resources or other useless items that you may not have wanted to pick up, but they are worth it to pick up. The next item that I use is a Dragon Horde enchantment. Now, this works the same way. You have a chance after you kill an enemy to find a jewel at your feet. They never updated the tooltip. This used to be an item that dropped on the ground and you had to pick up. However, now it goes directly into your inventory. I also use, and this is my personal favorite, a Quartermaster's enchantment. After you kill a target, you have a chance to get a bag that goes directly into your inventory. Now, you only need one of these enchantments on, one of each of them, when you're farming. But when you go to open your Quartermaster bags, you want to have a 10.5 to 11% drop chance in order to get consistently rank 6 and 7 enchantments from the bag. Which if you do that, you will have all the refinement points in the world that you could possibly want. If you still wish to have more refinement points, something that you can do is you can go ahead and swap out one of your mounts. Specifically, an easy one to do it with is instead of using Gladiator's Guile, you can simply change one insignia, and I will show you what that Lord's Armored Polar Bear can do. Change out Gladiator's Guile when you're farming for, where is my, there it is, Wanderer's Fortune. Basically what you're doing is you're changing the eye-looking symbol for a crescent insignia. And this works the same way as like a Dragon Horde enchantment. You have a chance after killing a target to find a refining stone at your feet. It goes directly into your inventory, and it is independent of the Dragon Horde enchantment. However, there is a cap on the amount of refinement you can earn per day from the Dragon Horde enchantment, from Wanderer's Fortune, and from your Quartermasters. So far, I have not run into a cap on the Fey Blessing enchantment, but the cap is per day per character, so if you really wanted to farm even more, you could switch the actual enchantments over to another character. Another way that you get refinement is through the leadership process, and once you reach at least level 21 on leadership, you can go through and you can actually make bags. You can make thaumaturgic bags, artifact paraphernalia bags, resonant bags, and enchanted coffers that all reward you with refinement point items. So that's entirely up to you, personal preference, what you wish to do with it. If you are a veteran player and you had refinement in your inventory, you would of course want to go ahead and convert that refinement, especially the bound to character stuff. The bound to account stuff, you may wish to go ahead and switch around between different characters, whichever character needs the refinement, but that's entirely up to you. And the unbound stuff you might actually wish to sell. Like this, though, I have 81 dark rank 7 enchantments that are bound to my account. So I'm going to end up using these for refinement points. Just going to go ahead down here and bam, refinement. Now the last thing that I need to show you about this is in your options menu. Under inventory options, there are a couple of neat features and a couple of detrimental features. So do be careful about this, and it is a little hard to access because you have to go over, then go to inventory options. There's going to be this button right here that says identify all. You can click that, and as long as you have scrolls of identification and unidentified gear in your inventory, it will identify them. And then there is this option down here, convert refinement points. Now you can do add a single item, which you can click on that, and then you can pick whatever item you wish to add from your inventory. That's one way to do it. It's a little laggy, so I don't really like that. If I'm going to convert a single item, I do it manually. Or you could do choose all enchantments and shards, choose all runestones, choose all gemstones, choose convertible equipment. And it'll show you all of the convertible equipment. Now this is where you have to be careful though, because once you move to this screen, pressing the A button will remove an item from the list. But pressing the X button will go ahead and convert all of those items to refinement points. Once they have been converted to refinement points, there is no way to undo that. So just keep that in mind. Now, the reason why I say is because some people have made the mistake of clicking that button right there and then clicking X. And look at what would get turned into refinement points if I wasn't careful. My greater briar twine enchantment, all of my shards, and all of my rank 8 enchantments. So I really do not like this feature. This feature I don't like. It's very accident prone. If you're tired, if the game lags, if you're rushed, just no. What we want to do is not mess with that system at all. It's neat because you can see what crit and what did not crit as far as your refinement is concerned. Like, oh, okay, I used some of this and it crit, or I used some of those stones and they didn't crit. Like these Azor rank 7s, I could go ahead and do that. And again, these are bound to account, so that's why I'm converting them to refinement points. But like I mentioned earlier, I don't like that system. It is too easy for something to go very, very wrong with it. So I would rather just go through my bags manually and convert everything to refinement points. These are the new items I was talking about, like those emeralds. You can get them from Invocation, from your Sharndar quests, bunch of things like that. Also, all the stones changed. You used to have your superior mark of potency, superior mark of power, mark of union, mark of stability. The three marks, mark of power, mark of union, and mark of stability, are now called enchanting stones. There are 3 different levels of them. You have your green ones, which are moderate as opposed to lesser. You have your purple ones, which are superior as opposed to greater. And then you have your blue ones, which of course you still have bound to account, bound to character, and unbound, unfortunately. But the graders, which now are the blue ones that were the regular ones. So a little bit confusing. That's why they look different. Your marks of potency, though, those did not change, except you still have your minor, your lesser, your moderate, greater mark of potency, obviously, superior mark of potency, ultimate mark of potency. Your refinement for relic weapons, that did not change. They did change the color on it. Rank 7s are blue instead of purple. Rank 5s are green instead of blue. And of course, you are going to need a lot of preservation wards. And for this task, you will need some coalescent wards as well. All right, now that we covered pretty much all of that, let's get straight into refining. These co-wards I did buy off of the Zen market, not with real money, but by converting Astral Diamonds to Zen and using the 15% off any item coupon. Normally, I would farm those through Invocation, because when you do your first invoke and your last invoke, you get a Celestial coin, and with those Celestial coins, you can buy those items right there. Coffer of Celestial Artifact Equipment, Coffer of Celestial Artifacts. Celestial Artifacts is the one you want to buy now. Celestial Artifact Equipment is the one that you used to buy. You're also going to need, as we covered earlier, greater marks of potency, superior marks of potency. These can be farmed rarely, but through the Dread Ring if you have an Adamantian Gauntlet. You can also buy them from the Wondrous Bazaar if you have VIP 12 at a fairly discounted rate, and you can buy them off of the auction house from other players or pull them from enchantment packs. Lastly, the brand new enchanting stone, this we'll cover a little bit later, but it's a ultimate enchanting stone, and the ultimate enchanting stone is going to be a little bit of a pain for you to get, but you can farm those for free. So every single thing that you need can be farmed in this game. It's just patience and timing. Now, I know I spent like a while on just the setup for this, and you want to get into the meat of the whole refinement system, which is cool. That's why there's hyperlinks in the description for you to use. As you can see, Lost Artifact Pack has a chance of dropping the Ultimate Enchanting Stone, and you get that out of the new lockbox. So let's go ahead and start with building up a enchantment. From whatever rank enchantment you need, or you have, you can start from that point. You can start from rank 1. Now, I don't have a rank 1 to show you, but I'm going to refine a brutal enchantment at rank 2 all the way up to a 7. And then I'm going to switch from the brutal to the black ice, and we're going to take a black ice all the way up to 13s. Now, this is all for the purposes of the video. This is for show, okay? If you have brutal 10s or 12s or 9s or whatever you have to start with on brutals, or whatever enchantment you're trying to refine, start from that rank. When I did the video for creating enchantments for almost free, people bitched at me for feeding a higher rank enchantment into a lower rank, not understanding that the principle of it was for show as far as the requirements, not that that was the exact way to do it. So yeah, a little bit ticked about that. But moving on. All you're going to need, you see we have the refinement points. I have 484,000 refinement points, which keep in mind that's reduced by a factor of 10 from what it was. So literally right there I would have millions of refinement points. And let's just go ahead and start upgrading. Now for the first upgrade, you are going to need 5 refinement points, because they did lower the amount of refinement points that you get from converting your items to refinement points, but they also lowered the amount that you needed. You will need, as a reagent, 2 minor marks of potency. They can be farmed, they come out of a lot of the things made through the leadership profession, or they can be bought from the Wondrous Bazaar or from other players. Extremely cheap, like less than 20 diamonds a piece. So very easy. You might even have some kicking around in your inventory from invoke bags. At this point, you can see how much the upgrade chance is and what the enchantment would look like at the next rank, which most of you already know. Keep in mind that this upgrade chance is not a total chance. It is not cumulative. Every time you hit the upgrade button, that's the chance that it has to upgrade. So every try is that chance, meaning that I could use multiple wards trying to upgrade something. Also, if you go up and you highlight this bar, you can go ahead and use the D-pad, if you're on console, to change how much refinement you want to put in to the enchantment. If, say, you were on an alternate character and you only wanted to refine it up with the refinement that they have on that alt character. So alt farming is still an excellent thing, but we're going to go ahead and move on. Wards, as you can see, there's 2 different wards, a coalescent ward, which guarantees success but is consumed, and a preservation ward. Both of those can be farmed. Most of my preservation wards come from invocation or from the Winter Festival. So if you know what you're doing and you're patient, you can farm them. If you want, you can buy them. It's up to you. You can reference my Was the Winter Festival Worth It video to see how many preservation wards I got from that. Now, moving on, the cost of a pres ward on average is about 4,000 diamonds. If the cost of your reagents are less than the cost of the preservation ward, do not risk a preservation ward. So we're just going to go ahead and press X, and of course it tells you the reagents will be consumed, and of course we had a success on it. Now we're going to need to go from rank 3 to rank 4, a lesser mark of potency. You can get those again out of some of the coffers and stuff from leadership. You can buy them off of the trade house. You can also buy them off of the Wondrous Bazaar. Now again, this is for show. I simply did not have space in my inventory for this, but with VIP 12, they cost 375 diamonds, and if you go to the trade house, go to refining stones, and just type in mark of pot, you will be able to find them if you select the correct category. So we'll put in mark of pot, go down to uncommon, select it, and you will see that they are a little bit cheaper. Not a whole lot cheaper, because obviously people need them right now, but you can get, like, up here, 2 of them for 666 diamonds, so roughly 333 diamonds a piece. I don't need to buy them off of the auction house, so I am just buying them from the Wondrous Bazaar. Buy them from whatever place is cheaper. That's what you do. Whatever place is cheaper for you. And that was 300 diamonds. So again, it's not worth me risking a ward. You can fail, as you've seen right there. I just failed. But I lost an item that cost 300 and change versus an item that cost 4,000. So yes, it's a little bit risky, but it's personal preference. Now, it doesn't really matter where you are when you do refinement. There we go, it just succeeded. I'm lagging a little bit in this instance, so I am going to change instances because I think I'm in a relatively full instance. Yeah, I've got 19 people in this instance. Let me change instance to 24. It's got 3 people. Sometimes if your upgrade is failing, changing instances helps. Sometimes changing zones helps. It's really hit or miss. But I always like to go to a low population instance and then just go somewhere that people aren't going to, try and walk up and trade with you or something like that. So it doesn't matter if you're in protectors or, I like even downs. You can hide in different places in the Ocean Star River, but it really doesn't matter. There's a billion different places that you can go. Just find yourself a nice quiet little hidey hole and go ahead and do your refinement. So we have a rank 4 enchantment. We're going to refine that. Now we need 75 refinement points. We also need another 2 lesser marks of potency. I should have bought multiple ones from the Wondrous Bazaar, but I didn't have the inventory space ahead of time. Like I said, you can get these for free. When you do your invocation, you get a little green bag that you can open, and that bag commonly has these lesser marks of potency in it. I just did not save them because you guys know my inventory was broken. You can also get the moderate mark of potency from invocation as well. Because now we're starting to get up into the more expensive items. To take a 5 to a 6, you need 300 refinement points, the equivalent of 3,000 in the old mod, and you need 1 moderate mark of potency. These are about 1,000 to 1,500 diamonds a piece, just depending upon the day of the week. So still not worth the cost of a co-award. And I failed the upgrade. And I failed the upgrade again. Alright, now we have a rank 6 enchantment. Now for the rank 6 enchantment, it's 1,200 refinement points to take the 6 to a 7, and 2 moderate marks of potency. You're starting to get to the point that it warrants using a ward on, depending on how much you value your moderate marks of potency. And the pricing will be different on different platforms. If these things are only costing you 1,000 diamonds a piece, it's not worth it. If they're costing you 2,000 or more diamonds a piece, then you'd break even, or it would be worth it to use a ward. We'll go ahead and do that upgrade. Luckily, I got it on the nope, I did not get it on the very first try. Oh, rip me. Rip me again. Alright, there we go. So now we have a rank 7 enchantment. From rank 2 to rank 7. I didn't show rank 1 because I haven't been able to find a rank 1 brutal enchantment in like 3 months. They typically only drop from events, so they're very hard to get. Alright, that is your rank 7 enchantment. Now, still for the purposes of the video, I'm going to keep going. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry at all. But I'm going to switch from making a brutal to making a black ice enchantment. This is simply because I want to. I want to make a black ice enchantment. It's one of the things that I need, and it's at rank 7. Now, here's where it gets funky. You need 5,000 refinement points to go from 7 to 8, and you also need a greater mark of potency. These greater marks of potency were very cheap in mod 12. Let's just say they're going up in price. You can buy them from the Wondrous Bazaar, you can pull them out of Dreadring, you can pull them out of enchantment packs, there's a bunch of ways to get them. But you can also buy them with VIP 12 for 18,750 diamonds. Now, typically they are cheaper than that on the auction house, currently they're going for between 10,000 to 15,000 diamonds, but this at the very start of Module 12B, they sold for 21,000 diamonds. So they are definitely worth the cost of a preservation ward. Now, something that I have found that kind of helps with upgrading, it might be, old wives' tale type thing, but I split my preservation wards into smaller stacks. Seems to work for me. So I will lose the pres ward if this fails, but that's only 4,000 diamonds as opposed to minimum 10,000 diamonds. And it was a success. So now we have a rank 8 enchantment. To turn a rank 8 into a rank 9, you need 15,000 refinement points, and as reagents, you need 2 of the greater marks of potency. Now this is where I should mention things get rather different. It used to be from rank 7 to 8, 8 to 9, and 9 to 10, you needed a second of the same rank enchantment, same rank as a reagent. In Module 12B, they removed that requirement, thereby the process of making rank 12s is a lot easier and a lot less expensive for regular enchantments and runestones. We'll cover the armor and weapon enchantments in a minute. Don't forget, there will be that hyperlink in the description for you. And as you can see, I failed, because at this point, we only have a 30% success chance. There we go. I now have a rank 9 Black Ice enchantment. To go from rank 9 to rank 10, you are going to need 30,000 refinement points. So we're starting to get up into refinement points cost a lot. As far as reagents, you are now going to need 3 greater enchanting stones. These can be bought, earned from invocation, pulled out of enchantment packs, pulled out of dread ring, and also pulled out of coffers that you create through the leadership profession. And 2 greater marks of potency. Again, the reagents are worth more than the cost of a ward, so we're going to use wards just in case. If you're watching your inventory screen at the same time, you can tell if you failed, because the ward will automatically be consumed, which is one of the reasons why I like to split my stacks. Alright, here we go. Fun times, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to make a rank 10 to rank 11. You need 40,000 refinement points, and you are now going to need a superior mark of potency. These minimum value 75,000 diamonds. That is the cost that you can buy them for off of the Wondrous Bazaar with VIP 12. Sometimes they are a little bit less, sometimes they are a little bit more. It just depends upon demand, and it is a player-controlled market, so demand changes all the time. Now, you used to need more, so they also reduced the cost as far as the number of superior marks that you needed to make rank 12s on normal enchantments and runestones. We will cover armor and weapon enchantments in a bit. But that 75,000 diamonds with a 10% upgrade chance is definitely worth more than the cost of a preservation ward. And I got it on the first try, actually. That's surprising. Now, to take a rank 11 to a rank 12, you need 50,000 refinement points, 2 superior marks of potency, so there's 150,000 diamonds, and 3 superior enchanting stones. These used to be your greater mark of union stability power. So if you had any of those from old enchantment packs or dread ring or anything like that, that's where they come from now. You can still farm them the exact same way, it's just instead of a greater mark, they're called a superior enchanting stone. Just enough to confuse you. But the upgrade chance is only 5%, so this is where you start burning wards. Some of you might be tempted to use a coalescent ward to do this upgrade. I have 5 coalescent wards, as you can see, but those are for use later in the video, so I cannot afford to actually use them right now. And I do appreciate you guys bearing with me with this. If refining the enchantments and runestones is not your thing, you can use the hyperlink to go ahead and find out how to refine the artifact. So we're going to keep trying. Like I mentioned earlier, you can change instances, you can change zones. Just be very careful that when you're actually attempting this upgrade, you make sure that there is a ward slotted. It's worth it to lose a 4,000 diamond ward as opposed to losing a 150 to 200k in reagents. So now you can see I have a rank 12 black ice enchantment. Pretty awesome. I started at rank 7. I started with 90 preservation wards. I have 80 preservation wards left. So I only used 9 preservation wards to take a rank 7 to rank 12. That's really good luck right there. Normally I use a lot more. Cryptic must be being kind to me for the purposes of the video. Now, this is where you used to be able to leave your enchantments. However, we're going to make a rank 13. Just to show you. Again, this is for the purposes of the video. This should not be the very first enchantment that you make for rank 13. I will show you what ones should be in just a second. It costs 55,000 refinement points, has a 3% upgrade chance, and it also costs one of the brand new ultimate mark of potency. Now, the ultimate marks of potency, for the most part, are bought off of the Wondrous Bazaar. If you can pull these from the Dread Ring with a Adamantian Gauntlet, I cannot confirm. I have already run the Dread Ring 20 times and since the update went live, and I have not pulled one, but I can confirm that you can pull the Superior Mark of Potency from there. We're just going to buy the Ultimate Mark of Potency for right now, though, for the purposes of the video, because we need it as a reagent. Now, before I actually make that upgrade, I should show you the very first enchantments. If you are at the point of taking your enchantments from rank 12 to 13, which we're not going to argue about the changes, those will be covered in a separate video, so just look for that in the next couple days. But the very first ones that you should do are your bonding runestones. Everything on your companion should be done before the stuff on your character. So bondings first. As you can see, I have all rank 13 bondings. Then the rest of the enchantments. Offensive slots first for DPS classes. So I have a total of, let's see, 6, 9. I have 9 rank 13 enchantments on my companion. And that's almost 1,000,000 just in the new ultimate mark of potency. So it is kind of expensive to make rank 13s if you didn't prep for it. But you can do it. You have all the time in the world, and refinement points are super easy to farm. So we're going to go ahead and try and get this to upgrade, because what would I be doing in this video, and where would I be if I didn't actually make the full rank 13 enchantment? That wouldn't be cool. Now, this is where it can take a lot of preservation wards. 3% is not a very high upgrade chance. It's a very low chance, and it is not a cumulative chance. So just keep in mind you can go through a lot of wards. It's not as bad as some people think, but it's difficult. Very difficult. And very annoying. So I totally understand. I have had rank 12s upgrade to 13s in as few as 3 wards, and then I've had brutals that I've spent an entire 99 stack of pres wards on. So it's very expensive, and I've basically spent all of the diamonds that I had saved up to make these 13s and make this video for you guys. So it's just bear with me while we try and get this upgraded. The last video I did edit out me actually using tons and tons of pres wards trying to upgrade stuff, but for this video I am not going to edit it out. I am going to leave it in so you can see exactly how many wards it takes, and the fact that I am not fibbing. I'm using pres wards to get the upgrade. I am not using a coalescent ward. Now, if you have additional coalescent wards, you might be inclined to use them, but right now they cost almost 400,000 diamonds, whether you buy them off the Zen market or you buy them from the Tarmaloon Trade House. So yeah, I will sit here and use preservation wards until I actually get this upgrade. And I might change zones because it just is really hit or miss. I used to say never refine in Protector's Enclave. If you go to a low instance, it seems to be all right. But I would go to whatever place you have better luck in. It's different for every person, and it might not even be something that actually makes a difference. As you can see, Protectors right now is not being very lucky for me, so I'm going to go try one of the other instances that actually sometimes is lucky for me. I'm going to go to the port here. This is the Cholton zone. I've had good luck here recently after the mod. Again, it could just be superstition, you know, stand on one foot, don't drink soda that day, turn around and say RNGesus 3 times in a row before you press the X button, you know, who knows. Whatever works for you, do it. That's all I'm going to say. There's a trick that some people like to use where they log out of the character, switch characters, and log back in. You can try that. It's never worked for me, personally, but you can try it. The only thing that has worked for me is splitting the wards into smaller stacks. That has worked for me. And like I said, I've spent up to 100 Prez wards before trying to make a rank 13. Which, at that point, it's arguable what you should do, because 100 Prez wards is roughly 400,000 diamonds. Basically the cost of a Coalescent ward. So some would argue if you have Prez wards, sell the Prez wards, buy co-wards, and just guarantee the upgrade success. It's so hit or miss. It's rare that you spend 100 wards, but it does happen. As you can see, it's happening to me right here, right now. I have all the reagents, and I do know this part is boring. It's probably going to take me a couple minutes to get it, but I will get it. If Cholt doesn't work after like 20 wards, roughly, I'll switch to another zone that I like for upgrading. I've always thought that it had something to do with like the number of people on in a zone, or something to do just with the time of day. It's impossible to tell. Maybe I just have bad RNG. Alright, yeah, this zone isn't working for me today. Another one that I use is Velosk. Now, I use Velosk because there's usually only 1, maybe 2 instances here in Velosk. So this is a place that I like to go. You've seen me upgrade enchantments here before. You've also seen me do a lot of opening videos in this zone. It's because it's always been a lucky zone for me. So we'll see if that pays off, and maybe I can quickly make this 13 here before I run out of wards. Some have believed that it has to do with like how many upgrades you've done on an enchantment. Like if you've been just consistently nailing upgrades without consuming wards, that the game then says, oh hey, we need to make them use some wards, so it averages out. I don't know, there could be some theory to that, but it's super hard to say. Now this enchantment may actually have been cheaper to use a co-ward on, simply because these wards are not succeeding. And I mean, this is every trick in my book. Changing instances, changing zones, using everything that has worked for me in the past. But of course, I'm on the air, so, you know, Cryptic wants to be a little bit different and show that you can fail a lot. I will continue to use Prez wards until I get it, and you guys can just keep in mind how many wards I have actually used. This will be almost 70 wards, though, which is honestly quite a bit for a 3% upgrade chance. Now, these last wards, I'll just go ahead and leave in a 12 stack. And I will try switching zones one last time. Hope maybe for the best. I think there's so many people upgrading enchantments or attempting to upgrade enchantments right now that it kind of works similar to lockboxes. And basically, the more people opening them, the more people hitting the lottery, per se, of actually getting the enchantment to upgrade. So, who knows if that's correct or not, but that's just how it feels for me. Like, when less people are on the game and less people were doing refining, I was able to hit upgrades with only a couple wards. And now it's super hard to hit upgrades. So, who knows? It really just is hit or miss. So this is the other zone that works normally for me, Black Lake District. What I would say is if you're trying to make 13s and you have some preservation wards, try them. If it doesn't work, then use a co-ward. Or if you have horrible luck like I do, which we literally just went through, well, 9 wards to make the rank 7 and maybe about another 10 wards after that. So we had about 70 wards, and I've just blown 70 wards trying to get that enchantment to rank up. Luckily, from the Winter Festival, I do have some more wards, but if it takes too many, then you'll see that, I mean, it's... At this point, I've spent so many wards on it, I might as well get it in a Prez ward, but you can see where the whole appeal of using a Coalescent ward for the straight, 400k versus attempting the upgrade like 99 times would be appealing. In either case, you should always keep in mind when going from rank 12 to 13 that you might actually need a co-ward. So figure that into the cost of upgrading your enchantment. You might get it on 1 ward or 2 wards. You also might not get it for 100 plus wards. I'm going to try the change character trick, though. Just maybe refresh my connection to the game real quick. Because I'll admit, I'm getting flustered with this upgrade before. The highest I've ever used was 99. And I'm getting close to using 99 again. If I go over 99, then I'm just going to stop and come back to it later. I'll move on to making the rank 14 enchantment because I already have rank 13s. I've almost used 80 wards so far. And there's all kinds of theories. Don't have wards in your inventory, have tons of wards in your inventory, slot them in 99 stacks. I mean, there's all kinds of theories as to what you could do possibly to make the upgrade chance a little bit better. But they're exactly that. They're theories. We can't see the source code, so we can only use what seems to work best for us. Alright, now like I said, I was at like 70. I basically had 70 wards when I started from that original stack. I've used them all, and I'm using another stack. So once I use all of these Prez wards, this would literally be 99 wards. Alright, finally. Whew. I was getting a little worried on that. But you can see it takes a lot of wards. I've had these upgrade in as few as 3 to as many as 99. But you should get the upgrade within 99 wards. Should being the key point there. So, there we go. We have a Black Ice rank 13. Yay! A little excited about that. I like legendary enchantments. They look cool. Alright, moving on. We need to turn this into a rank 14. But, for efficiency's sake, we are not going to use the Black Ice enchantment. We are going to turn the Bonding Runestone into a rank 14. And it's a Black Ice enchantment, not a runestone. I don't know if I said that. But for the refinement process, this is the same, whether it's a bonding runestone, or any enchantment except for armor and weapon enchantments. To go from rank 13 to 14, you need 60,000 refinement points. It only has a 1% success chance, so you can try a preservation ward if you're feeling lucky, or just have like 2 of them you want to burn. But I would recommend using a co-ward. At the very least, figure the cost of a co-ward in. You will also need 2 ultimate marks of potency, so that's about 200,000 diamonds, and you will need 3 ultimate enchanting stones. The ultimate enchanting stones I mentioned earlier, they can be pulled from the new packs, dropping from the lock boxes, and they can also be received from the chests after you finish Tomb of the Nine Gods. They are a rare drop chance, and they are expensive right now. They can be farmed without you spending any AD or real-world money on them. So anybody who says that you can't do this without spending currency and you can't make these for free just doesn't know how to farm. However, like I said, for the purposes of this video, I did spend Astral Diamonds to actually obtain these legendary, or not legendary, they are legendary color, but these ultimate enchanting stones. The reason why I did that was solely for the purposes of this video, but now I'm broke. So, except for owning a few wards, and soon to have a 14, I'm broke. So you see they go right there, and of course you are going to use wards. Like, this is something that you need to be very, very careful with when you do. Don't do it when the game's lagging. Don't do it when you're tired, because you can lose a lot of money very quickly if you are not careful. So, I'm going to take my bonding in the offensive slot, hit Refine Runestone. You'll see I've got all the reagents needed. I'm very excited about having a rank 14. And I will use a Prez Ward at first. Let's see if I get lucky. It would be awesome if I could save a co-ward. Okay, then. Well, okay, guys. That definitely makes up for spending 99, or almost 99, preservation wards, because I just spent 1 singular Prez ward. I don't think I even spent the Prez ward. I just made a rank 14 bonding stone on 1 try. Very first try. Well, I don't know if anyone else has had that happen before, but there goes all my RNG for the next year. Thank you, Cryptic. So yeah, I just saved myself 400,000 diamonds for a co-ward. I'll take that. That's very nice. But that is how you make a rank 14 enchantment or runestone. Hopefully you get lucky. Like I said, if you have a couple preservation wards, throw them in there just to try. It doesn't hurt to try 1 or 2 and see if you happen to get lucky like that, because that is awesome. I love rank 14 enchantments. I don't agree with the changes to bonding runestones, but like I said earlier, we're not going to focus on that. That will be in a separate video. So that covers how you make from literally a rank 1, if you have it, or whatever rank you have to start with, all the way up to 12, then to 13s, and then finally to 14s. If you're making rank 14 enchantments, do your bonding runestones first, Anything else after that is personally preference. It's crazy. But let's make some upgrades now, because I know everybody wanted to and is worried about their armor and weapon enchantments. So most of you guys have like a lesser enchantment or a regular enchantment or, a greater even. You have a rank 7, rank 8, or rank 9 enchantment for your armor and weapon enchantments. I know some people have higher ranks, like I had 12s, but I also had this one for my pally. That's only a rank 9. So we'll go ahead and show you. It's fully refined, ready to go. I'm spending 0 refinement on it, but it's now going to cost me 15 greater marks of potency and 6 greater enchantment stones with still a 1% success chance. So figure you're going to need a co-ward. I would show you from a rank 7, but I don't have any rank 7 runestones, or armor or weapon enchantments, that is. I have runestones, not armor and weapon enchantments. Just keep in mind, armor and weapon enchantments, they've come down a little bit in price, but they didn't come down as much as some people thought, simply due to the fact that you need more marks as reagents, but you don't need a second of the same rank. So it's good and bad at the same time. We're going to try these Pres wards again. I've got 77 of them. I'll try 1 or 2. Maybe I'll get really lucky. Answer was no. And no. Alright. Apparently all my luck was used up on that bonding 14, which is okay. I like that. I still saved 400k diamonds, so I'm happy. I'm like doing a little happy dance right now. Anyways, let's go ahead and make this perfect briar twine for my pally. So it's now a rank 10, and you notice I didn't need a second rank 9 to do that with. Now, in order to go ahead and turn it into basically rank 10 to 11, we're going to need a total of 10, as opposed to only, I think it was like 3 superior marks of potency, so that's very expensive. That's annoyingly expensive. That's 750,000 diamonds right there. And 3 superior enchanting stones. Still a 1% success chance. Now, the reason why it says spending 0 is this enchantment was over-refined. It used to be that when you added refinement to an enchantment, that refinement had a chance to crit, and if it crit, it could go over what the maximum amount of refinement that was needed for the max level was. That's why it shows you that I'm spending 0 of my refinement points right now. Again, we'll try a couple of these preservation wards, just in case, but no luck there. So we'll have to use the coalescent ward, as I figured. Success. Now it's a rank 11. Awesome. As you can tell, I may have very much crit refined this enchantment. Basically, I took it to greater, and on the last double refinement, I got it right to the point that it was ready to upgrade, like just a smidgen off, and then I filled it up with 5 stacks of rank 6 runestones from my quartermaster enchantment bags. So, needless to say, it's a bit over-refined in preparation for the mod. But now you need 15 superior marks of potency. So first we needed 750,000 diamonds. Now we need 750,000 diamonds plus half of that again. Oh, God, these things are expensive. This is why there's still going to be millions of diamonds for armor and weapon enchantments, especially rank 12s. Again, we'll try a couple of the preservation wards. 2 of them real quick. Nothing. We'll use the co-ward. Now I have a rank 12. And as you can see, it's still a little over-refined. It's still got 9,000, which would be 90,000 refinement points left in it to be used. But at this point, if you wish to upgrade it to Unparalleled from Transcendent which is rank 12, to unparalleled, rank 13, the maximum rank that any armor or weapon enchantment can go, it's going to cost you 10 of those ultimate marks of potency, and it's going to cost you 3 ultimate enchanting stones. So right now, current pricing, you're looking at $1 million for the ultimate marks of potency and roughly $4 million for the ultimate enchanting stones. I am not spending 5 million diamonds to go from a you reflect 6% of the damage dealt to you back to the enemy to a you reflect 6.75%. I will never make this enchantment unparalleled. Some of the enchantments are just not worth making unparalleled. Unless you have a lot of money and nothing better to do with it. However, where would I be, and how would I be able to call this video everything you need to know and your guide to refinement if I didn't make an unparalleled enchantment? Well, I wouldn't be able to do it. So, the enchantment that I am going to make unparalleled, I'm going to take my lightning from transcendent to unparalleled. This will be the very first one, and probably the only one that I make, outside of maybe Dread or eventually Bilethorn. So, lucky me, I get to go buy 10 of these 93,750 ultimate marks of potency. This is why I said that I was going to be broke by the time I was done with this video, because it's extremely expensive to do this. And I would farm for them. That would be my normal thing, is I would farm for them. Unfortunately, due to time constraints on trying to get the video out the very first day, I actually have to do this the expensive way. Trying 2 preservation wards. No success. Alright, we're going to use a co-ward. I did save 400,000 diamonds on that other upgrade, so that works. Alright, there we go. We now have made from level 2 or rank 2 all the way to rank 14 a regular enchantment / runestone. And we have also taken from rank 9 a armor enchantment all the way up to 12 and made a unparalleled enchantment. You can go ahead and see that nice, this very, very nice, beautiful, unparalleled lightning enchantment right there. Oh man, that just looks delicious. Lastly though, we need to still cover how you refine an artifact, because enchantments was the easy part. Artifacts is the hard part. Artifacts have been made more difficult to refine as opposed to what they used to be, and I will explain here in just a minute. So I want to upgrade the new artifact, the Soulsight Crystal. The upgrade process will work the same way for artifact gear, so neck, belt, main hand, offhand, as opposed to one key difference. The neck, belt, main hand, and offhand pieces of gear only go to legendary, and artifacts go to mythic. But this is how your screen is going to look. Now, I've already taken the liberty of not boring you guys, and I started with a green Soulsight Crystal that I got. They're only like 10k or less on console right now. They're super cheap, and you guys already know I showed you how to get the refinement points. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade. It's very annoying, and it's really, like, I wish I could upgrade more than one level at a time. But you can see this. Now remember, this is harder to do because you cannot use a feeder artifact. The way a feeder artifact worked is you would put X amount of refinement into the feeder artifact to upgrade it to the next rank. Then that artifact would become worth more refinement points. And it would almost like double. It doesn't work that way. So let's go ahead, and I'm not going to actually convert this to refinement points, but I'm going to show you how much it's worth. It's worth 10,764 refinement points, and it gives you a spot to double check this. The reason why it gives you a spot to double check this is because it's an epic item. Do not do this with like a green item, or you will run the risk of losing it. But it's worth 10,764 refinement points. I'm going to refine it up one level, which is the maximum that it lets you do. But there is a way to refine multiple levels. I just actually discovered it, so I'll show you in a minute. This is roughly 3,000 refinement points. All right, I just refined that up one level. Now, if I go to the convert it to refinement point screen, it only went up about 1,000 refinement points. So it is not worth it. If you have an artifact that you don't want, sure, you could convert it to RP, but it is not worth it to make a feeder. It's actually detrimental to make a feeder. So what you have to do is, you know how I said you could highlight this bar up here that would allow you to increase or decrease the amount of refinement that you were spending? You can actually highlight this bar down here. And sorry, I'm a little bit tired. But you can highlight this bar down here and use the D-pad to go ahead and click over multiple ranks. I did not find that out till I actually played with it, but it will show you you're spending so much refinement, blah, 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 you know, for each rank. So if you want to see, like, I can go ahead and refine it to legendary if I wanted to. Bam. I'd need 109,000 refinement to do that, but I could if I wanted to, or I can refine it up one level at a time. Now, refining it one level at a time for the purposes of the video is going to show you how much refinement, because it keeps increasing by about 150 refinement points for every single level that you're going up. So this is just for the video. You can see how much you actually have to spend in refinement points to go ahead and get the artifact leveled up. And then, of course, bam, it's ready to upgrade. Awesome! Now you need 5 greater marks of potency, 2 superior enchanting stones, and 1 greater, or whatever they are calling them now, enchanting stones. It also has a 10% success chance, and is a little bit more annoying because of the fact that you cannot transfer an artifact from one character to another once you have added refinement points. So if you do have any like bound to character preservation wards from farming the Winter Festival, hopefully they are on the character that you actually wish to upgrade stuff on. Let's go ahead and use those wonderful, wonderful pres wards. Now, since it's a 10% upgrade chance, you have to be prepared that you could go through like 100 pres wards. It's entirely possible. I might go through a lot of them simply because I burnt my RNG a bit, making that 1 bonding stone to 14. No luck so far. I know some people will say I could edit out this part, but if I edited out this part, then you would not know exactly how many wards I spent, and you would not know how long I spent to do it. So this way you have all the proof of what I did, how I did it, when I did it, and nobody can argue it wasn't done or that there was a different type of ward used. You can see I started with 5 co-wards. I have 1 co-ward left. And it looks like I'm going to be burning quite a few of these preservation wards. I know it's only a 10% upgrade chance, but it's always one of those things you feel like, good God, when am I going to get this thing to upgrade? There we go. I now have a legendary Soulsight Crystal. So we're going to go ahead and refine that up. As you can see, it's, 8,800. I'm going to refine it up again. At least now, it's continuing to take 8,800 per rank. But, as you can see, Click. I have run out of refinement points. Wah, wah, wah. Rip me. So we're going to go ahead and convert the items that are bound to account refinement to refinement points because I need more refinement. Just be careful that you don't convert anything that you actually kind of want to keep. Like these rank 7s, they're bound to account. They're from the quartermaster enchantments. I'm going to go ahead and convert them. That's, wow, a crit. 109,500 refinement points. I'll take that. Those resonance stones, we're not going to convert them. I'm going to leave them to sell. Basically, you only want to use your bound refinement first, whether it be bound to account or bound to character. And anything after that, if you need the unbound stuff, sure, go ahead and use it. If you don't need the unbound stuff, then go ahead and sell it. It's really personal preference as to what you do. There's no right or wrong answer on it. So I converted everything that I have that is bound to this character or bound to my like total account, and we're going to keep upgrading it. It's still only needing 8,800 per rank. I'm doing it rank by rank so you guys can see the individual requirements per rank. There is a form on the wiki that shows you the individual requirements per rank, but some people didn't believe it. So that's why I am here to show you. Now I'm going to my bank because I have some more rank 6 enchantments. Again, these are from my quartermaster enchantment, which the best way to use the quartermaster enchantment is to open the bags when you have a 10.5% or 11% drop chance on a double enchantments and runestones event. So I'm getting roughly 40 to 45,000 refinement off of each one of those stacks. And this is why I said it's a pain. I mean, 100,000 refinement reduced at a factor of 10, you'd be looking at 1 million refinement, like in previous mods. So it's annoying, to say the least, the amount of refinement that you need to make a mythic artifact. Like, I'm out of bound to account and bound to character refinement points. So now what I have to do is I have to start using some of the stuff that is unbound. Again, it's very, very much personal preference. This is for the purposes of the video. If you wish to continue farming your refinement, you could do so, and you wouldn't have to use your unbound refinement points. I had 3,876 refinement points left over. Not bad. Now, for this, you will need 5 greater marks of potency and 6 superior enchanting stones with only a 5% upgrade chance. So it's still a better upgrade chance than if you had, say, taking a 12 to 13. A 12 to 13 is only a 3% upgrade chance. And, of course, it's not a 1% upgrade chance. But by now, if you've started to get really tired of the refinement system, which is 100% possible, you may actually wish to just go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to use a co-ward. It's up to you, though. If you have the patience to do it this way, you can usually save some money. Sometimes people get really lucky and even get armor and weapon enchantments to upgrade off of a couple Prez wards. That is definitely the luckiest I have ever been, was getting my bonding to 14 without using any Prez wards at all. I put 1 in there and it succeeded on my very first try. So now you see this just upgraded to Mythic. I now have a Mythic artifact. So I made a rank 14 bonding runestone. I made a unparalleled weapon enchantment, and I just made a mythic artifact. I literally showed you how to make everything, how to upgrade everything that you could possibly want from start to finish, and I told you / showed you where to get the items needed to do so without you spending any astral diamonds or any real world money. Now, if you wish to spend that real world money or you wish to spend astral diamonds to do so, you will get it done faster, and there is nothing wrong with that. It is entirely 100% personal preference. I hope I answered every single question that you have about refinement. If you do have any other questions whatsoever about refinement, feel free to message me. And if you liked the video, please help us out. Go ahead and leave a like on the video, share it, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you want to. That greatly helps out the searchability of videos here on YouTube. And of course, subscribe for more content. If you would like, my social media links will be in the description, including coming soon. I think to keep these videos coming out, I'm going to start up a Patreon account. But yeah. That's a side story. Also, I do live stream on Twitch, so if you want to check that out, it's my same name, Efanusa57, just on Twitch. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, my brothers and sisters, thy legion, stay frosty.